Yeah, let's, I'm gonna hit the button. And YouTube just hit me with a, "You're live." That's so awesome. Oh, that was weird. It did it like twice or something. That was really bizarre. Alright, wait. Yeah. Alright, so the bot should be coming on board. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sound is good.
Alright. And let's squish the thing. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we have another bracelet to make that came from one of my tutorials. And hang on, let me find the right button there. There we go. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. This is another 12-string bracelet, or 6 strings if you count how many go into the loop. I double up my floss, so that's 12 strands going in technically, but then I pair them off, so it's just 6 colors, 6 strings. But before we get into too much of that, let me remind everybody that we do have the secret word game where you can win these 2 lovely bracelets. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing these things go. So yeah, you know, hopefully you guys win it. This is the video that I did where I showed how I meshed these 2 patterns together. And over on my website, whoops, other one, this is where it is. So you can actually watch a video where I'm actually meshed the 2 together, and then I actually give you the patterns that I took from friendshipbracelets.net, and you can try them out on their own, or you can come down a little bit further and see the mashed up version. So this is what I'm going to be working off of here today. So, and once again, we are joined by my lovely wife Mandy. Yeah, it looks like we have a bot, so this is good news. And oh, before we get into too far, I gotta show you guys this. This is a bracelet my wife just made today, which I am super impressed with. I super love it. It's a little bit heavy. I'm not used to, you know, like my bracelets really don't weigh much, so I'm not quite used to all this weight on my wrist, but I'm really super proud of my wife, and I think you guys should be too. All right, so what do we have here? We have 2 groups of 3 colors. We have 3 of these kind of earthy brownish tones, and then 3 shades of a pink to red sort of fade. So for this particular pattern, I think what I want to do is I want to start off with the brown. So that's going to be the outer part of the bracelet, and we're going to leave the brighter happy colors for the middle. So I'm going to start with the darkest one. So that's going to be what's on the outside part. And then it's going to fade to lighter colors. So we go dark, medium, light. And then for these, I'm going to start with the lightest one. So that way, as it kind of comes out, it's going to start off with that light one and then finish with the darkest. Again, my pattern is done in 6 colors like a rainbow, but you don't have to follow the colors, you can figure out if this is in that one's place, what happens. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So now the key part is making sure that I do these colors in the same exact sequence, otherwise that would be a big mistake. And one to go. Here we go. Alright, so now what I do is I kind of group it together. Now mind you, this little chevron thing for the beginning is not actually in the pattern. And essentially I just added that on there because I think it makes a nicer start. If I was going to make the, what is that pattern number? Not sure I can actually see it on here. Yeah, it is really too small to read. 19 something, I don't know what it is, but oh no. 54 something 8? I don't know. Teeny tiny print. But if I was to do this pattern, this is how I would want to start it off. Is it's just a little bit of a cleaner start as opposed to like I see some people just trying to have a flat bracelet start, and I don't know why. I don't care for that as much. All right. So this one goes all the way to the outside. Hang on. Let me get back to the right part of my web page there. So this one goes all the way out and gives us the dark color that's going to be on the very outside part of this part of the bracelet, this outer band thing. And just got a little twisted around when you get these two together. This is one of the tricks about when you have your string doubled up, is trying to keep them staying together. A lot of times they will naturally, but sometimes you have to give it a little bit more, you know, time to play with it, get it right. So this one also goes all the way to the outside. All right. Now one of the things I like to do is, since I was just going to this side, I know all these strings have just been kind of separated from each other, and so I continue that by going that same direction. Now it doesn't matter when you're starting out in the middle and it goes symmetrically which direction you go, but I have noticed that sticking to one side at a time does actually help make things go along a little bit faster. It's part of the secret of how to keep your strings from getting them in a bunch. Okay, so the first one, the string goes all the way off and doesn't get used anymore. The next one goes to the string that's left and bounces back, and then we don't use those two. So you can kind of just set them off to the side. Usually I have clips, which I'm going to grab a couple. Usually I have clips set at the bottom of my board to help keep those strings, you know, something for them to rest on, and it just makes it easier, especially on patterns like this. And this is again one of those little tiny things that you can do that will help speed things up. So now this is kind of a rusty lighter brown here. And this one does the same as the other one. It ends by coming back. Now this is, I would say this is an intermediate bracelet. It does use all 4 knots. It does take a little bit more planning or whatever. And from this you can also kind of see how I do the segmenting of the knots. I just saw something that I've never seen before, and I was kind of blown away by it. Essentially, somebody had gone and was making a bracelet. Now I've seen where they'll do the pattern, but they'd come across every row. Whoa.
Sorry? Google just went nuts.
Yeah, I just heard that. That's weird. So they were going across candy stripe with everything and doing what they had to do, you know, right, left, or whatever. But the new one that I just saw was they had straight rows coming down, and they were just following whatever it is in a straight row, which is really weird to me because it doesn't, each row, like in this one, it would be maybe 7 then 6, 7 6 7 6, something like that. I don't know, it just seemed like the hardest way of doing it. So yeah, staying in the diamond, staying with the pattern, I think is a whole lot faster, easier, and it'll keep it looking nice. The bots are listening. Yes, it would seem that way. It's when they chirp in with their 2 cents, so when you didn't ask for it, that gets a little bit scary. Just imagine when they start adding the artificial intelligence to the bot thing there. I don't want to say the name because it'll start chiming in again, but yeah. Yikes. So now we've got the chat bot is even plotting. Great. So now at this point, you can see I'm kind of concentrating a lot of knots over here on the right hand side. And that is true. But watch, as I bring this in, it'll suddenly balance out on the left hand side. So this light tan kind of color is going to make it looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little diamonds before it goes into the other part of the segment. So basically I gave a good part of this bracelet to this design right here. And this is fun. This is kind of cool. It doesn't use a whole lot of colors. It's basically it's a 4-color bracelet with room to put in 2 of the colors that you're going to use the most. So like the outside one and the other one, you could design it out so that way you wouldn't necessarily have to have those 2 strands extra long to be able to pull this off. You'd have to add a little zigzag somewhere in there to switch up the strings, but that's not that hard to do. So I'm expecting more people to come along. I know that John had mentioned earlier that he planned on being here for this. Narsh.
No, my new craft can be here though.
My newt can't be here today, so that's unfortunate. Hello? Is that... I don't know how to say your name. The heck? Yeah, so this is a smaller bracelet. Like, if we have time, if it by the time we get done with this, if we can get this earlier, I'm going to work on this one. So that's the plan for today, is to get this done so I can get to that. Shara? Is that how it... Any idea on that name, honey?
Not sure which is first and which is last name.
Well, welcome, welcome. And since you're late, let me just let you know we have a secret word game going on. So if you happen to say what the secret word is, you get to win those 2 bracelets. One made by me and one by Minute Craft, who, as we were just saying, unfortunately can't make it here tonight.
So Zofra.
Zora? What?
Zofra. Zofra?
Safra? Safra. It's cool. Alright, so now we're going into the next one. And you see that, like, after one side gets completed, I can go back to the other side and balance it off. And it's just a real easy way of, like, contending with a bracelet of this nature, is concentrating on one area at a time. But don't get too far ahead of yourself in order to keep the balance of the knots and stuff intact. So yeah. Yeah, I'm American educated, so unless it's a nice easy name like John, I'm like lost. Actually, why, Mandy, why does your camera look so dreamy? Like there's like a frosty haze to your side. I don't know what's going on over there.
Is that a bad thing?
You know, it's like a glamour shot thing or something. I don't know. It's really weird. It's just not normal. Wow, 254 subscriber. Well, that's kind of cool. I don't know how you knew. Oh, I guess when you're signing up. Yeah, sure. Wait, am I up to 250? Wait, oh no, 2000. 254th. Wow, you've been subscribed for a long time. My brain just suddenly stopped and didn't, like, added a 0 to that or something. I don't know what happened. That's really cool. Wow. Yeah, we're definitely going to get over to that other project. This is coming together relatively quickly, so we'll get on to the big pillow thing. Yeah, we were saying that there's 5 diamonds. We're already on our way to working on the 3rd. So yeah. Wow, in France. I was just seeing some pictures from like downtown whatever, just completely just destroyed with trash and stuff. That's I would love to go to France, but obviously now is not a good time. That is pretty neat. I'm glad to see that there's people in Europe watching this. I kind of would like to see a little bit more of a following. I have a bit in South America. I kind of like to see that area get more into it because there's so many people making great bracelets down there. If they could start making bags and some of the bigger projects and stuff, they could really like capitalize and do some neat stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. All right. 4th diamond coming into play. Well, nearly finished actually. So at this point, now that I'm approaching where I'm getting closer to where the pattern is going to do the change up, I obviously have to pay a little bit closer attention to what I'm doing. But still, like I was saying, this isn't a really difficult pattern. And this is the kind of thing, like if you can learn how to do this one, you can actually generate so many other patterns. Like even like the pillow that I'm working on uses essentially the same little segment that's going on up here. It just cuts off sooner. So yeah, there's a lot you can do if you can master this one. Oh wow. Well, welcome back. Glad that you came back. Three years. Wow. You were subscribed a long time ago. I was wondering about that. I have no idea. Wow. Yeah. That is a lot of content to potentially binge, indeed. Let's go. But yeah, some of these kind of basic, like this thing here can go into arrowheads. It can go into, you know, where there's total segments of different colors. Like obviously you have these three predominant colors in this section. The next section could be the other three. So this has potential to do a lot of things. If you just have the general basics of it. So yeah, I wonder how many videos, how many live streams there have been in the last 3 years. I've definitely generated quite a bit of content in that time, I'm sure. And I'm hoping that once this bigger project is completed, to start really cranking out some content in the very near future. That's at least my hopes. We'll see what happens. So yeah, if you guys come up with some patterns that are over on friendshipbracelets.net that you think could be cool to be mashed together, or you just want to see how I might do it differently, or how I would, you know, balance and get it sorted so it balances in the middle, so that'd be cool. All right, see you in a minute. Hey, John made it. I was just telling them earlier that I was expecting you to be here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring these tan colors in, and as you can see, that makes the 5th diamond. So now take a look and see how this goes. Yeah, it's bright and early over there, John. Oh, I just realized, John, if you come over here to visit, one of the first things you're going to have to contend with is the jet lag. It's going to turn your whole world upside down for a bit. Okay, so kind of like how we started off, this rust color now comes all the way outside, just kind of like what we did with the darker brown, and that's and then this light color goes out and then turns back at the last one, and that brings in our lightest pink into the diamonds. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about the jet lag. I was sort of okay at first, and then it sort of hit me. Like I would just want to nap in the middle of the day out of nowhere, just like, oh, we're going down, just crash. Yeah, it'll definitely be worth it. You'll have fun. Alright. So let me just catch this right side up with the left. And we'll get on to doing this middle part. So that's essentially the one bracelet design. And that part's kind of coming to an end, and we're going into the next one. Yeah, Mandy was just mentioning something at dinner here today. Another possibility to, instead of hostels, you might consider some of the hotels that are in either the Bugis or the Chinatown area. There are some in those areas that aren't too terrible. There's some really small rooms, but the room is all your own. You can dump all your stuff however you like. So that's kind of maybe an advantage. So now it goes from basically a very repeating pattern into one where it's way more arrowhead for just a little bit before going back the other way. Yeah, it's not quite as inexpensive, but it's not the big, named hotels. So yeah. You'd have to check on the different ones. We stayed in Bugis at a hotel. It was a Hotel G. Was that what it was called? Like? Hotel G. And the prices weren't too terribly bad, but you'll have to take a look and see what that's going for.
If you catch it like on some promotion or.
Right. Yeah, I was telling John that I think that June is a bad idea just because the queues for everything is just way more intense. All the families are out with their kids. It's
School holidays, summer holidays.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what next year's Chinese New Year time of the year is, like January or February. That's always kind of fun because there's a lot of decorations and stuff involved with that. But if you're more of like, beat the heat and, enjoy your summer over here, then yeah, probably more like July, August. Now, one of the things I can say about this actual bracelet that I'm making here, so if you're going to pick this up yourself and try to make one, is you're going to want to have some of the colors to be cut really nice and long. This lightish tannish color is obviously getting used quite a bit. The dark browns and the medium brown kind of a bit as well. So yeah, because it's not very far before this thing turns around and goes back the other direction. So yeah, just a heads up, if you're interested in making this, this is kind of a thing that you'd have to keep an eye on. This is why I can't.
Is Feb 10th next year.
February 10th. So yeah, the month of February would be a really fun time to be here, mostly because there's just so many things going on, so many different, like the Chinatown area selling all kinds of stuff. I find Chinese New Year to be an interesting time of year.
Well, the month leading up to it.
For sure.
More so.
That's true too. Yeah, over here we have New Year's Day, and then it's straight into Chinese New Year's decorating. Like everywhere you go, it's the thing. It's go enjoy pizza. Actually, time for me to get a drink. So my idea for the colors here was to be that the center was going to be like a flower amongst, you know, earth tones and dirt and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of starting to come into bloom as we get closer to the center. Oh, John, you kind of made it late to the party. You missed this one. Mandy made me a kumi bracelet that's sort of like dragon scales. The colors in this thing is just, it really goes well with this bracelet. But the colors in this thing are just brilliant. I don't think the camera does it justice.
You probably need to switch.
Like this camera?
This camera doesn't really capture the colors very well.
Let's try this. So yeah, it's very dragon scaly, and yeah, I love it. Unfortunately, the materials kind of are not cheap. So if we ever do go to sell these things, it's unfortunately not like, you know, these little cloth bracelets where I can sell them for $5-10 and recuperate my cost. So yeah. Yeah. Alright, so now we're coming to the center of this one. So essentially this pinkish color comes all the way to the outside, and then that's the center line right there.
Did you really do red in the center again?
I did. Like I said, this was meant to be like flowers or whatever in the desert or dirt.
Mhm.
It looks cool. And so this goes to the outside and bounces in. Yeah, this went a whole lot faster. Yeah, we're definitely working on the pillow here in a bit. So yeah, I know that the video that came out for me making the pattern to this was one of the earlier ones to come out. It somehow or another I missed actually making the video of me making the bracelet itself, so that's why we're getting into this one here today. In case you're kind of wondering why it's out of sequence, I just kind of missed it. So yeah, I was busy making a bunch of them. Yeah, it's not just that it's thicker that it's developing quickly. It's just a really, this pattern just lends itself. You could just work one whole side and then you can just go back to and work the other side. And these kind of, this type of pattern is really easy for me. I love these kind of ones. I barely have to look at the screen to see what's going on over there. It just comes really natural. Yeah. Of course, there's a limit. So this just came up in a recent conversation. Somebody was suggesting doing bigger works by using much bigger string, and I had to point out the fact that if you do try to use much bigger strings, what you'll essentially end up with is that very macrame look. The knots, when the string is small like this, it's individual little dots, but when you get it to a certain size, you know, you try to do this with like mountain climbing rope, it's not going to look the same at all. So there is a sort of a limit as to how big you can go before it starts to not be as nice. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and fill out this other side of this just to give you the sense of the center diamond first, and then we'll get into doing the other end of this bracelet. Yeah, they were talking about the idea of me making a suit essentially out of knots. And I had to remind them that it took 9 months to do my wall hanging, and you know, that's the thing. But their other idea was that it would go faster if I used a much bigger string. And two problems with that. One, the knots don't look good in that big a string. But two, I live in the tropics. So thick string makes a thick, dense material. Can you imagine the sweat rings that thing would have? Oh my god, I would die. What's up, Phil? Yeah, and ain't nobody wanting to see it either. Now, mind you, if I lived in a cold region like, say, you are, John, one of the things that I would definitely consider is making a chunk of fabric big enough to replace the back diamond portion of a denim jacket. I think it would be a incredibly cool look and easy enough to get sewn in. It'd be cool. Yeah, I've got a denim jacket over here that suddenly gets to see the light of day. It has to be when we're on a trip to someplace cold for me to want to bring that along. There's Phil incentivizing why you can't miss a stream. I love it. Actually, Phil, you're one of the honorary members over there in the Discord. That's currently how we can hear Mandy. So. So you can see here, as I'm going to bring this string down, where would I stop, right? Well, I know that there are 3 strings, these 3 right here, that make up that diamond, right? That'll be here. So I have to start, I need this string to make up the diamond. That means as this one comes in, it pivots on the one just before it. And that's why this pattern is so much easier, is because it makes it real easy to see where the changes come from and to. And I don't have to actually stare at the pattern the whole time in order to generate it. So yeah, this is partly why this one's going so quick and easy. It's a nice, easy pattern for a change. Yeah, I'm not necessarily on Discord all the time. I spend a fair amount of time, though. I suspect, yeah, time zones, but I do spend a fair amount of time over there now. So this last pink diamond here is the last of the second pattern. We're going to go, this goes straight back into the first pattern, or vice versa, however you look at the two of them. So this little segment here is the secondary pattern. It is what I thought would be an interesting kind of a jewel in the center of the other one. So now at this point, it just goes back to what we had at the start. All right. So obviously we're having to get a lot done on the right hand side in order to clear way for that center part to take place, but that's okay. The poor bot. I imagine you're right, John. I think it would probably look pretty cool on 24 strings. So essentially doubling the number of strings, making this double wide, would be pretty cool. Either that or you could just go ahead and just... I'm not sure how many of the outer parts you would get if you're going to make it exactly the same but just wider. That's a possibility. If I was doing this in 24 strings, obviously I wouldn't double up my floss. I hope that one dude's okay. He was just going off to the bathroom for a moment. He hadn't come back yet. Oh, hope he's all right, man.
Well, it did cross my mind that he was originally from Turkey,
Hmm.
or maybe he meant like a Turkish bath.
So look at that. Just like that, we have the first of 5 diamonds on the second half of the bracelet. Not bad. I'm going to shift this up a little bit. We transferred him from Linux over to Microsoft. He's now running with Bing. For anybody else watching this, these are callbacks to previous episodes here on our live stream. So unless you're keeping up with us, you might miss out on some of the funny bits. Hey, my new craft made it. Cool. Hello. How was the barbecue? Is that why we didn't have pizza? I was wondering. After last week, I thought we had kind of agreed that pizzas on Saturdays was a good thing because there'd be leftovers for after. So one of the things about finishing up this side I can notice already is the fact that once the fifth diamond is in place, the other colors just come around it. So I don't have to actually worry as much as I did when I was coming into the center of the bracelet, because the way that it ends is really been simplified. Yeah, I know, right? I'm feeling very left out here. I'm the only one that didn't get pizza, and that's the one thing I would have wanted most. I know, right? Oh man. It seems like it's been ages since I've had a Hershey pie. My pain and suffering is their delight, is apparently the theme here. It's the Singapore element. So you guys might have noticed too that all the bracelets I've been making on the live streams are going into my shop at a sale price. And the thought process there is a lot of the people watching my videos might not be able to afford like premium prices of these things. And I kind of get it, you know, and maybe they're struggling, they can't make the bracelet on their own. They kind of want to be able to see this up close and personal. So I'm trying to make these affordable. So yeah, if you're interested, go check out akaawol.com/shop. Hershey pie. Nice, yeah. Unfortunately, voice does not actually count in the secret word game. So, yeah, if you guys are actually using the Discord to actually speak out loud and stuff, it wouldn't work because the bot has to read it. Thus, I would not win because I can't type and not at the same time. It is what it is. Vanilla powder. Oh my god, that makes like such a creamy coffee. Numb. Yeah, John has good taste when it comes to the ice cream. I'll give him that one. Just because we don't have to go to Baskin Robbins and try each one of the 31 flavors does not make us a bad, you know. See, there we go. Chocolate chip cookie dough. Seems like some kind of big ingredients around here. Yeah. There'll be a bunch of callbacks to this particular episode. If you want to know the word, you're going to have to go back and find the live stream. Well, Phil, you kind of missed it earlier. John is actually talking about taking a trip out here sometime next year. So yeah, you should start saving up your pennies there. Little field trip off to the tropics. Although I think for Phil, I think honestly, I kind of more picture him like touching down like in the Philippines, or not the Philippines, in Thailand, and having us join him over there so we can like hang out on the beaches of Phuket. Wait, honey, type in Phuket just for so I can. Phil, what does that spell? Like this doesn't make sense to me. The first time I saw it, I'm like, no, PH is how you spell phone. Mind you, the bots will try to if you try to actually type out what it looks like, it'll probably stop you. But that's true. So this is the 5th diamond of this size. So now we just bring all the other colors in. And I can tell you, this tan color, man, we used the majority of it. Like, wow. Yeah. Yeah, Phil. I think they're missing out on a great marketing scheme. Are you sick of work? Just say Phuket. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing place. There's a party area that's like just off the rails. Something better than Have a good one, Minute. I'm about to throw some braids on this bad boy and crank out the pillow number 3, which, by the way, I managed to get it all the way down to the 14th row being done, so that's kind of cool. I just heard a weird sound like something fell, and I have no idea what that was. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, I don't know what a spam fry is. I'm very confused. Oh, hi. Well, welcome to our little hangout and whatever. I'm almost actually done with the bracelet that I was doing here. A couple more knots, but welcome. We're gonna switch from doing something that everybody can do into something that you have to be a little bit out of your mind. So now to finish this up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the furthest string and wrap the next one around it, and take those 2 strings and wrap the next one around those, and keep doing that all the way to the middle. Oops. And then break this into 3 groups and just braid these off. Okay, so I was kind of concerned about the length of the light brown because it was being used so much more, but when it comes like to now that I'm braiding it down, it's fine. So essentially those cuts of all the cuts of string here were done with the 1/3 of a skein, so a little bit more than 2.5 meters in length, and it turned out just fine. Obviously, like the reds could have been cut into quarters, and that would have been fine. But yeah. So we got one of the things all nice and braided off. I'll do the other side. And again, I just kind of, instead of just going straight into a braid where I would look a little bit sloppy, I just go and bring them all down like this to the center, which kind of gives it a nice clean end to it. Oh, you had to mention Pop-Tarts. I had forgotten all about the damn Pop-Tarts. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, I'm doing everything I can to encourage the chat. That's why we have the secret word game, which basically is you can chat about anything, but if you happen to say whatever the secret word is, you win the bracelet. So, yeah, I'm definitely trying to encourage the banter. Hey, honey, what does your thing say for a number of people in chat right now, or in the YouTube stream right now? Because mine says 2.
Yeah, mine says 2-2.
That can't
Makes
be.
no sense.
I swear I think YouTube is out to try to cheat me so that they don't have to pay me. Because obviously from the chat, there's more than 2 people here. Get my scissors out of the airplane trolley. Because being organized like that is so awesome. And there we have it. So that's what comes from this pattern, from this video that we did. Like I said, I changed up the colors. I wanted it to be kind of earth tones with like a flower, like, you know, spring is coming up here for a lot of people back where I came from in Detroit. So I thought this would be kind of a neat thing to do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now, let me swap this around. So there's my easel. Alright, I have to shift the camera because I'm way down here. So you might notice there's a big hole going through here, and that's because this board is for when I replace strings as I go along. And though we won't be doing any of that here today, I'm kind of prepared for when it's going to come up soon, because this burgundy color here is getting really short.
We have a new voice on Discord.
Oh, it's Phil. Hey, Phil.
Evil has arrived.
Hey. I heard the sound and I'm like, wait, I know that sound. That's Discord. So yeah, Phil, this is welcome along, and check this out. This is really weird. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe you're smarter about computers than me. But right now, according to the YouTube, we have 2 consecutive viewers, which we can see in the chat that we know that Rainbow's here, you're here, Mandy's here, and is it Karina is here. So yeah, I don't understand why the YouTube's is claiming that there's only 2 people watching the stream. So yeah. Yeah, Rainbow, we're over on Discord. We're in the insiders group for the one where people from the Patreon. Which, oh, I should get this thingy for that. Is it this one? Nope.
I wonder if John's still here.
Is John still?
I said your YouTube stream shows me is 2 watchers as well.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense though.
There's a lot more than 2 chatting, so.
Yeah, it's so weird, right?
And Rainbow, no. That's what happens when you use Windows. Evil uses Linux.
Yeah. Well, this computer has been crying to be turned into a Linux machine here as of late. It starts up, and it's like nothing on like the taskbar down below, like all my little shortcuts for things. None of them are clickable. So then I press Control Alt Delete and bring up Task Manager, and suddenly it's like, oh, those buttons you wanted? Yeah, they're fine. Don't kill me. So yeah, it's definitely like trying my patience. Like if I have to use Task Manager every time I want to just do something stupid.
Yeah, for some reason my i9 likes to run hot, and when I go in Windows 10, and when I go to double check to see what's making it run hot, I'll open the Task Manager. The temps immediately shoot down the ice cold temps.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, he's looking. Everybody, act natural, act natural.
Yeah. When I shut down, one of the things it always tells me is, you know, there's a task that's running that doesn't, you know, that's making it so it doesn't want to shut down. And the name of the task is the letter T. That's it. No word, just the letter T. And I'm like, what in the name of fucking spyware shit is this? That, you know, it doesn't even want to shut down because this thing is running, and it doesn't identify itself as like an actual app or whatever. It's just the letter T. I'm like, that's some bullshit.
And it doesn't show up in your Task Manager or in your processes?
I haven't seen it there, but then again, I mean, I haven't like gone trying to search it out or figure out what it.
Because a lot of times it won't show up in Task Manager because it won't be an app, but you can look in your processes and look in the system monitor and see if it's in there.
Right. Okay.
It probably does affect the watch hours, because if it's not counting it, it's screwing them. Because there are way more people in chat.
Yeah, I know.
It says there's 3 now.
Yeah, we went up to 3, but there's more than 3 people in chat.
Right.
Yep.
But that's affecting watch hours if it's not reading it correctly.
Right. Oh yeah, Rainbow. So yeah, I stopped streaming the video over on Discord. It's just the voice. So there is everything that you're hearing of us is coming long before it reaches you, because there's a weird delay thing. But yeah, so the visuals are coming via the YouTubes, but the audio is partially Discord, and then it kind of meshes together. I don't know. Beyond that, I guess it's weird. It's like time zones, man. It's just weird.
Delay.
Yeah.
Eat my YouTube stream.
So yeah, so the weird thing is like, so now that you're here, Phil, you can like respond immediately, but like anybody else that wants to like join in and say something right after it, they might not hear it for a good, 30 to 45 seconds later, and we're like already moving on. So yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, because I've been hearing your responses twice. 'Cause
Right.
I'll hear it through Discord immediately, then a few seconds later, I'll hear it again in YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
So it's like double the AWOL.
Twice the AWOL at no extra cost.
See,
I'm
that's,
not sure the
that's
world
extra
can
value.
handle it.
Extra value. That's what I'm talking about right there.
More reason to.
Oh, come on, my
Add that join button down.
my strings tried to
You're
get themselves kind of knotted up there at the ends for a second. I almost had a panic attack.
Oh, and Mandy, we got to get you a mechanical keyboard. Because if you're going to go with your mic off of push to talk, we got to get you a manual keyboard so we can fully enjoy every clickety clack.
No.
I'm the one that needs a good mechanical one, man. The little, oh my God, don't even get me started. The keyboard I have is the same as Mandy's, and I absolutely hate the thing because I have to stare at the keyboard in order to type. I'm not one of these people who like just looks aside and whatever. I can't do it. I have to look at the keyboard. And so when it misses letters as I'm happily punching them onto the damn keypad and it misses it, I'll hit enter and then I look up and I'm like, why is it always missing the H in this? Like when I type this, that's like the most notorious one that always happens. The H doesn't show up and I hate it.
On mine, if I'm typing quickly, I always get TEH.
All right. Oh, so the one thing so I cranked out that bracelet pretty quickly. My secret weapon here today is, you might notice there's little red dots in front of my ears. I have Bluetooth. What are they called, honey? What is it? Bone connective. No. What is it called?
Conduction.
Bone conduction. So basically, I can hear you guys like through the speakers and whatever else, but I can also hear my own music. And this is all the stuff that I would definitely get copyright claims against. But it's being all piped directly into my ears and you guys can't hear it, so haha. But yeah, having some tunes to jam out to definitely like makes the whole nodding thing go way faster.
I'll say, so you're withholding out on the good stuff then.
Yeah, that's it, man. Well, I just got an email this week from YouTube saying that a strike, that like somebody had did a copyright claim against something of mine, and then they like, oh, never mind, it's okay now. I have no idea what the strike was supposed to be about, because it was already cleared up and over with before it even like started. So I was like, okay, thanks. I don't know what to. Yeah, so weird.
Free music is the way to be.
Yeah.
I said I used music from one of my buddies in Orlando. He does music, and I gave him access to a Dropbox. So whatever you want to get your name out there, just drop it in the Dropbox. I'll snatch it up and put it in videos.
Nice. Yeah, I've got if you haven't noticed, there's a guitar behind me. My plan is to get to where I can throw in some of my own tunes for the background and just kind of jam out and do some fun stuff. But currently, these are the strings I'm spending more time with than those strings, and so I suck at it. Mostly like just sitting around and like putting on the sound effects and Like, just, yeah. It gets trippy. But yeah, I just finished the 14th row of this here earlier today. So this whole, everything that's done over on this side, that's also all done from today.
Now, is this one going on the wall, or is this going on the site?
This is going on the pillow. This is going to be a pillow on the couch along with the other ones. So this is pillow number 3. So
Somebody enjoys pillows.
well, I kind of like that whole, I don't know if it's a Turkish, what is that? Moroccan look where like you basically have a whole shitload of pillows laying around. I like that look.
That could be many different cultures.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though it's one of those, like where I've seen it from, it was, you know, old video like James Bond in some foreign country kind of thing, you know. I don't know. I don't know where the image that originated from in my head, but I know that it's got that sort of a, you know, 70s weird vibe thing going there. That
I was getting ready to say it sounds more 70s to me, and that could be found in pretty much any hippie's household.
there you go. So I could have gone with trying to complete out this whole row, like bring this piece down a little bit further. But the thing was, I didn't want to be all the way out at the edge when we started off for the live stream, because the camera has a much harder time like focusing in on the thing. You know what? So I just finished this. I was just like, I just finished this before we started on the bigger project. So yes, I do enjoy occasionally jumping off and doing something smaller, but at the same time, I I really want to get this one done. My plan is I'm going to do more pattern mashups and or just showing what I would do different to various patterns that I can find on the internet. And I think it's a way to create more of these live stream videos based on like showing you me actually making the thing that I create the whole pattern to, as well as having a little bit more regular video content during the week. So that way, the big overall goal is to get 4,000 watch hours, because at that point, Google will start to pay me a bit for doing all this stuff. And at that point, if we can get the money from the Google, we can afford to do some more giveaways, which is really, really the whole end goal of all of this, is to put more bracelets into your guys' hands. Another way to make that possible is through Patreon, which if you go to Patreon and then /AKA/AWOL, you can find me. And even, you know, just the $5 a month makes a big difference for me. It's a difference in getting more string or paying for postages, stuff like that. So, I mean, the camera that you can actually see this work from, that was paid for 100% by Patreon subscribers who were helping me out. So, And then we had the Mandy Cam originated, that came from Patreon. So yeah, there's a lot of I have a lot of thanks for those people who have joined, and it's nice. But yeah, occasionally doing something small is fun too.
You're missing out on more options. You need to get that YouTube membership. Get that join button down there.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Pop over to Patreon.
What is the numbers you have to hit to get the yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's like YouTube's got that new thing where you can like receive money like during the streams and whatever. Like, but is that after?
Well, no,
I know
well,
it.
No, that's not for that. That has nothing to do with streams. That's just for your channel to have like a Patreon
like thing. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, and then the
alternative is what I'm looking for here.
Like, yeah, there's a thing where it says join.
Patreon underneath that membership.
Right.
That way they can contribute to the channel.
Right, right.
And it doesn't even matter if you watch it or not, because you don't have to rely on ad revenue because your subscribers are paying you, or the members, I should say.
Right.
Are already subscribing to you.
Right. But it also
But
it also opens up a donation button where, like, if they want to have their comments show up bigger on the chat, then they can throw in a couple bucks.
That's just super chat.
Yeah, super chat. That's it. That was the word. So yeah, but that again, that comes after them being monetized. It's so stupid. It's like pre-monetized, you have to do everything for free, and then once you're monetized, it's like, oh, now it'll help you actually earn some extra income, because it's like, geez, you know, just I was monetized actually once. But then they changed the policy, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just take that back. Thank you very much." And I never like claimed any of the cash, so like, hopefully when they become monetized again, they're like, "Oh, and you already have this balance," because otherwise that would be not fair.
So you think Google's gonna give you that money back?
Yeah, I don't know. I was wishful thinking, man. Greedy corporations. Oh, thank you for, yes, watch hours would be amazing. If you want to binge watch my stuff, that would be awesome. So I had to check my phone here. It's Collective Soul is what I'm listening to now. Oh, I like that song. Couldn't think of who did it. Yeah, the other things that people can do that's absolutely free is they can watch the videos. They can hit the like button. You'd be surprised. Just hitting the like button over on YouTube does wonders. It tells YouTube that, you know, people think that this is quality material, and it gives YouTube the idea that maybe they might want to share this with more people. So yeah, just hitting that like button is great. Like, that's something, doesn't cost you anything.
Like, subscribe, and commenting.
Comment, sharing the video on other social medias if you've got people that might be interested, you think. Yeah.
Oh shoot, city event. All right, everyone in the stream, or who's been in the stream, or if you're rewatching the VOD later on, you all have a homework assignment. You all have to go this week and watch 5 to 10 of AWOL's channel videos this week, is to get those watch hours up.
I'm gonna have to put this boy on the payroll. Dang. Got that homework assignments.
Yeah, the bot.
Yeah, these evil bots don't pay for themselves, you know. Oh, shit.
They pay you with Pop Tarts?
I said I'll take the replica items direct from China. Either that or factory connection. I'll take that too. And also, since you mentioned Thailand, I said, who would you figure I would enjoy in Thailand besides their nightlife?
There is okay, so the main part in Thailand that we have been to on a number of occasions where, like, say, like this tattoo came from, is on the island Phuket. Well, peninsula Phuket. Maybe it's an island. I think there's a little river there. I don't know. Anyways, Phuket has an amazing, crazy nightlife that goes on. There's a lot of shopping. There's the beach. Down at the beach, you can do the thing where it's crazy. They run a kite off the back of a boat, and they'll put you in a harness to take you up there. Meanwhile, some Thai kid is like running around and like working the strings of the kite, so that way you go flying around the beaches and stuff and looking down on all the stuff. It's, yeah, that's pretty neat.
It sounds like parasailing.
Yeah, I guess maybe is that what it is? But they got
It sounds
okay, like right. Okay, so
it's
when I've
very
seen the U.S. doing parasailing, right? Yes, I guess that is what it's called. When I see it in the U.S., they just put you behind the boat and they drag you and up you go. This one's got a kid who's not harnessed in at all, who's up there working the rigs so that you just go cruising. It's a whole, like, OSHA doesn't exist there, basically, I think is the gist. But yeah, there's so many things to do. It's, yeah. Well, they're out over the water. I don't know. Maybe they go splash. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But yeah, life down at the beach is pretty cool. The life at the hotels is amazing because, you know, it's hot, tropical, whatever. So the water's nice. The party atmosphere. Oh, and the knockoffs, dude. You can find like kick-ass watches that are knockoffs.
The proper term is replicas.
Replicas, yes. I have a Breitling watch that is a replica, but it's such a good replica that when I wanted the battery changed, I actually had to go to a high-end shop to get the right tool to actually take the back off, and they took it apart and gave it a good cleaning and whatever, and gave it back to me, and never once did the dude be like, you know, you got a knockoff, right? Nope. As far as he was concerned, I had the real deal, and I was like, that's a good replica. Like,
and that's what I'm talking about. If you can pay me some good replica connections over there, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Mind you, we paid probably about $150 for that watch, but
yeah.
But that watch, the real deal of that watch is ridiculous. It's the one that's got the slide rule on the outer part of the dial. It's the
fun fact,
ridiculously expensive.
Every time I see that watch, I always think of your last name.
Oh, Beitler and Breitling, right on. I can see that. Yeah, that watch is stupid expensive, though. We're talking definitely 5 figures.
I would like to do something like that, but I'm just not into watches.
Yeah, I hear you. Now we have phones. We don't need the watches as much. I've always wanted that particular watch since I was a kid, the set, you know, because I always thought the slide rule thing, right? How cool I'd be able to do math off my watch and how awesome. I waited too long. I finally get the watch, and now my eyesight is completely shit. Like back then, oh man, I had no problem. I read all of that shit, no problem. Now I can't see. I have a hard enough time reading the time off of it, let alone like the slide rule thing. Forget it.
Well, if it's that good of a replica, you can always use it as a collector's item.
Yeah, I just like to, you know, like if we're going out somewhere fancy, I like to wear it just because it just looks cool, and you know.
Well, get yourself a nice AP replica. That way people can think you're
Or that, or
American.
get the oyster one from Rolex, where the date is like got a magnifying glass on it. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of a fun thing to do. Yeah, there's just a lot to do there. There's the boxing. If you ever want to see the Thai boxing, because there that seems to go on an awful lot over there. Because every time we go, like the trucks go by, Sunday. So much fun.
Reminds me of Vegas already.
Yeah.
We should actually talk about banning our advertising trucks because there's so many of them on the road, and they're saying they're a distraction to drivers.
Yeah, these ones have occasionally one of the boxer guy up on the top, and he's kicking the thing that, you know, they put like a big padded thing on their arm, and he'll just start kicking it and stuff. It makes a loud banging noise, and you know, just to get people's attention. It's kind of fun. And the way of getting around is tuk-tuks, which are these little tiny like van that the whole back end is sort of open to, and has big sound systems and lots of lights and sound and craziness. Yeah, it's fun.
They have something like that in San Diego because they have a lot of people from Pacific Islands there, so they try to bring a lot of different cultures mixed in California.
Yeah, I haven't been in San Diego since early 2007 when I left the service. I was in San Diego, but there was no tuk-tuks when I was there. There was some crazy. I saw a dude. His mohawk had to be a good 2 foot high, right? Just standing up, 2 foot high mohawk. The hilarious part is I saw when he was driving in, he was driving an old Ford Mustang, and he had to do this with his head, look around because, you know, it wasn't a convertible. And so he's, you know, his head is completely whatever to get down to the beach. And then, of course, all the tourists, like, you know, come running at him, wanting to get their photos with him. And I was just like, you know what? I just do not need that level of attention, like, at all whatsoever. Like, I do not want to be, like, crowded all the time with, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, no, go away.
But then what are you doing here?
This is different. This is
worldwide. It blows up. You can't go out in public after that.
Yeah, I think if I cover the tattoos and wear a hat, I think nobody will actually recognize me as the bracelet dude.
I said you're gonna need a PA to run out and do all your errands for you because you won't be able to leave the house.
But then I can make more videos. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about if I ever got to that kind of level of notoriety. I just one step at a time. So is Rainbow still with us? She's got quiet. Why blonde wig? Oh my god.
No, but that wig has to be an 80s rocker style.
Like Twisted Sister.
I'm thinking Twisted Sister, maybe a little Aerosmith, Iron Maiden, mix it up.
Right, right. Why is my video problem? Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Karina. Yes, I am a little bit crazy, and yes, some of these things get really out of hand. But it didn't start out this way. Like, the bags I started out with were like 12 loops or whatever. Like, think it's just escalated over the years. But yeah, I'm happy that other people are finding this and discovering that, you know, big things can be done and that we can have fun with it. And I'm it's my light right over here says inspire, and that is my biggest hope, is to inspire people to try new things and to have some fun with it. It's kind of sad that some of my decorations don't really show up very well on the screen. Yeah, we have a set of lights that say inspire. How's he hear you all? I love it.
I'm gonna say, Karina, it's not a competition. You keep working at it, and your projects be huge.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. It isn't a competition. I am not trying to outdo everybody. I'm, you know, I'm just doing stuff that I think would be fun. I figure that I can't do bracelets indefinitely. Like, seeing how in the last 10 years or so my eyesight has gone from being able to see the tiniest of whatever to not being able to see the little things. So it's a matter of time before I stop. And before I stop, I want to have some evidence of, you know, the glory days. So that's why, like, things like these pillows and stuff are really big on my to-do list right now, is because I want them, you know, as I get older, you know, maybe hand them down to my kid or something. Be like, you know, there once was a time where I was, you know, doing some cool things. But yeah, Phil's right. It's not a contest. It's not see who can do the biggest or whatever. It's just, you know, what's in your heart. What do you feel like making? What kind of things do you want to see in your house? Or to pass on to somebody else. I imagine, you know, I was just talking to my wife today. We have some family member just came in from England, and I was thinking about passing a small bag over as a gift, you know, because how cool is that, you know, if they can have something that's actually made by hand by me. So yeah. Well, thank you. Actually, it's almost the opposite of patience. The whole reason, like, I have gotten as far as I've gotten with this is I want to see it done. I am, like, determined I have to see it done. And it's like that lack of patience. I can't wait for it to just get finished. It needs to happen now. Also, I want the leftover strings of this to use. I have like an embroidery project that I want to play with. And I want to use some of the leftover strings from this in that project, and in order for me to do that, I have to hurry up and get this thing done. So yeah, it's it does feel a little bit like being crazy.
It's almost as if he was AWOL.
Yeah, yeah, not quite there. Yeah, that was the original. When given the nickname, that was what the intent was, that I was not quite there. Yeah, it really is. It is. If you can get your mindset into saying like, this is going to be cool, I can't wait to see what the next row looks like, see how much, a little bit more progress will turn it into something a little bit more beautiful or whatever. If you can get yourself really hyped up like that, yeah, it's a great motivator.
I use that same mentality on saving money or just accumulating wealth.
Right on.
If you just do a little bit at a time, say if you want to make a large purchase and you don't have all the cash up front, see if you can break it down into smaller pieces.
Right.
So say if you, instead of going out and buying a brand new computer, buy the parts a little at a time, put it together yourself.
Speaking of, I saw a great meme about that. Like, computer stops working, suddenly left kidney starts sweating. Oh no. Oh no.
Every time a new video card comes out.
I know, right? Yeah, I like the computer I got. It's got the horsepower that I'm running as many things as I'm running right now, which is great. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, it's not suitable to be upgraded to Windows 11. And I just got this feeling like, man, I don't know where I went wrong in purchasing it, but it's gonna kneecap me some point in the future.
Well, you went wrong with trying to use Windows.
Yeah. I got that lovely tax money from the United States, and I went like, hell yeah, computer time.
So yeah, it's with Windows 11. If you don't have anything like that came out about the same time or after it, it's gonna tell you no, you suck.
Right.
Even though it will run.
Right. Yeah, like I said though, my computer's ever inching towards being a Linux machine, so that's just a inevitability. I personally, I love Linux Mint, so I imagine that that'll be the direction I go, unless I find one that I like a little bit better. But most of the stuff I use works fine on Linux. Like OBS is how I do these live streams, and that's a Linux, compatible thing. Pretty much everything.
Welcome to the stream, Rob.
Yeah. We're doing pretty good here. We made a bracelet earlier, this little guy. And now I'm kind of working on pillow number 3. And I'm kind of actually shocked at the fact that I'm almost to the halfway point. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, this is like almost the middle right here. Amazing. I'll probably give it another 20 minutes because it is getting late. But I'm kind of energized, so I'm kind of loving this. Even if Google is cheating me, man, it still says there's only three people watching. That just can't be right.
They needed to have it set up like Twitch, where you can actually see who's in the chat.
Right. That would be kind of cool. There's a lot of things about Twitch that kind of make sense for streaming, like the whole point system.
Take that back. I just looked. I can see everyone in here. I take that back. It's already there.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, AWOL, Karina, Mandy, Ra Ra, Rainbow. I'm not even on the list.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't get to be on the list only because.
No,
Yeah.
you're on the list. I'm looking at you.
All right, there you go.
It's showing. Okay, it says it's 3 watching, but it's 5 people participating, and I am none of those people.
Well, thank you, Rara. Yeah, I was saying that when I was making it. So my thought process was the browns. I'm not sure if it's showing up like on my screen. That looks a little off, but it's browns like real good earth tones, and then just like a little blossom of color. So kind of representing spring that's going on in the northern hemisphere. I'm in the tropics, so we don't really have spring, but I was inspired by the whole everybody's just hit springtime and whatever. And a billion skeins. My goodness, that's more string than I got. Yeah, winding string can be a chore, man. Why is my brain stopped and I have no idea what Rainbow's saying? Help.
Your user photo.
Oh. Oh, sorry, I'm slow. I can't pull that one up by pressing a key, but yes. Yes. Yeah, I've used that as a profile pic for so long now. It is one of my favorite photos of myself. I couldn't have done it without my loving wife, but yeah, that is a classic.
I said at this point, it's basically your logo for your brand.
Right. Well, so partly what that is about, honestly, and you're right in a sense. See, I do have an actual logo down here. Let's go down here. So that's basically the logo that I go for. But my thing is when people go and change their icon or their whatever, like in Facebook or wherever else, when they change it regularly, I might not recognize who they are unless I for sure know the name. So like there's, number of friends or people I follow or whatever. If they go and change their profile picture, I might have to like relearn their content all over again. So that's crazy. Yeah, no, I could. My neck doesn't bend that far. There's no way I could lay down in it. No, I'm upright. I'm buried alive. We got a massive amount of string in from China, and my brain just went all soft and giddy, and I had to do that photo. So that was a fun one. And I don't like to tell anybody how I did it, because nobody's bothered to tell me how the inspirational photo came about. If you look on the internet and go to Alan Sherman, My Son the Nut, there is a picture of Alan Sherman buried in a whole variety of various nuts. And that I had that album when I was a kid. It had that Hello Mother, Hello Father song on it. And I loved that album, and I loved the artwork. It pissed me off. I tried to look and see if I could find any flaw in there, and there wasn't. So I had to do it. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of it made a huge mess. I'm not gonna lie. To do that photo took a lot of work, a huge mess. Yeah, it was crazy. It was fun.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, right. It's one of those nights where, it's like, as soon as the whole photo shoot was over, like, thank God that's finally over with. Let's see what we got. Oh, hell yeah.
That was the pain.
What was
Having
that?
to sort
Right.
all the skeins back into color.
Yeah. Yeah, we made such a mess of it all. There was just, yeah, having things kind of, well, most of the time when we buy the skeins, we have some kind of idea what they're going to get used for and stuff, and have it into groups. But in order to make that picture come out where the colors are balanced well, we had to do a fair amount of mixing and getting it to where it wasn't just clumps of red here and clumps of blue there. We had to get them all kind of mixed around a lot. That took time.
So yeah, y'all actually put in effort into it.
Yeah, no, it was not random. There was a lot of effort that went into that.
I would have just dumped them in there and called it a day.
You have to remember, I'm here in the tropics, and the biggest rooms in our house to where we could pull off something like this are not air conditioned. So I'm like wearing a bunch of floss, over me and stuff. All I wanted was to get out from under it as quickly as possible. But, so yeah, part of me was kind of like, let's just throw it on there and whatever. But another part of me is like, I want to do this once, and I want it to come out perfect, and I don't want to look back and be like, oh no, that there's nothing but blues in front of me or something like. So yeah, there really was a lot that went into that. Yeah, I didn't want sweaty skeins and
yeah, that's what logistics is all about. Getting it done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
The correct way.
Yeah. And I think overall we didn't do too badly. It wasn't. I think we were in and out of the whole thing in about an hour's time, so it wasn't too terrible. Mind you, too, because we were doing it out in the living room, we didn't want to have the parents involved, so we had to wait for them to go to bed. So that actual photo was taken late at night.
Coolest part of the day.
Amen.
And just for Rainbow Sharp, I'm currently toasting strawberry Pop-Tarts on top of my PC.
Ooh. Strawberry Pop-Tarts are nice. Wait, are you gonna wash that down with the Faygo? Damn it.
Faygo and Pop-Tarts?
Faygo peach.
Ooh.
And a strawberry Pop-Tart? Hell yeah.
Sounds odd, but I do want some peach Faygo now. Time to go around the corner.
These pictures should match.
What the? Google's showing me pictures of Pop-Tarts now. That bitch is trying to make me fat.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Oh no.
This is why we need to be afraid of Skynet.
I know, right? Because obviously they can't understand what we're saying, so they're gonna just take things and... Oh, man.
Context, people. Context.
Okay, somebody's
Well,
got
shoot,
to...
I can't remember that joke. The guy was telling his wife he was whispering in a house, and his wife was asking why is he whispering. He's like, because he doesn't want all the robots to. He say he doesn't want Mark Zuckerberg to hear him.
Right.
He's having run in the background.
And then she laughed, and Alexa laughed.
Alexa,
yeah.
Siri, you know.
Yeah. Fun.
Fun fact, till I-9, running Watch Dogs Legion on PC, just a mighty fine Pop-Tart.
Well done.
Oh no, that's horrible. That means Ubisoft needs to optimize their shit better. It makes my i9 run so high, and I'm running a Noctua DE15, one of the best air coolers on the market. And my i9 still gets this hot to where I can literally cook on top of my PC.
Yeah, it's a bit grim.
This is why they're losing money.
Right.
But it's such a fun game.
Hey, it went up to, well,
All
wait, I got conflicting things. I have one spot that says up to 5 viewers and another one that says we're at 4. So I'm, even YouTube at this point is conflicted. Unreal.
I've got 5.
Yeah?
I'll say yeah, but 3 out of the 5 is mods.
Right, okay. But hey, as long as it's not my computer doing it, then it counts for hours, so yay. I should actually, I can't. I was gonna say I should. Oh wait, yes I can. I'm stupid. Hang on.
Actually, and you're one of the 5, by the way.
No, I don't think it counts me at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Really?
Yeah, you're in the list.
Take a look at this.
Like if you flip over to go to your stream on YouTube, if you go in the chat, you hit those 3 ellipses at the top, and it gives you that drop down. Go into participants. It shows you everybody who's in the chat.
Oh, okay. So, as far as the watch time hours, where we're at right now is 1,338 of the 4,000. This number rolls on a 365-day basis. So, as of tomorrow, we will lose 1 day off the end of this. So it has to be 4,000 hours in a 1-year time. So that's, yeah. And the other alternative way to hit it is to get 10 million views on my shorts, which and that's a 90-day thing. So my shorts have only got 543 views out of 10 million. So yeah, just crazy. It seems the 4,000 hours would be the one that'll be the easiest to get, because I don't make enough of the video shorts to be able to even think about hitting 10 million.
I disagree with the whole shorts thing.
Well, they were trying to take on TikTok, so
yeah, I'll say leave that to TikTok. You're not TikTok. You're YouTube.
I know. Yeah.
That, and I'm tired of seeing shorts in my subscription box. They need to let you be able to sort it.
Right.
Or filter it, actually.
Right.
I mean, you have a whole entire short section in your sidebar. No way to filter it out of your subscription box.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I think they could do a little bit better, but whatever.
And buy me a coffee.
Nice.
Patreon. Now say it.
Yeah, saying it doesn't make it sing. Oh, there it goes.
That's one way you can talk and still win the secret word game. Voice to text.
Right. Yeah, because I can't type and do this at the same time. In fact, I have no room for my keyboard in front of me as it is. There's just nothing but string and stuff. So let me see if I can pan this camera back out. So take a look. That's I still have all this over here to do. What, more than half in 1 day? That's pretty good. So it is like going on 12:30 over here. So I think we're going to call it a night. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. It's been really a lot of fun. Thank you, Phil, for joining in on the conversation, and Rainbow for being here and keeping everybody on track. I really appreciate it, guys. I will be back again next week, and yeah, that should be another fun one. I do plan on trying to make a video this week, so that there'll be something for you guys to see me build, kind of like, oh, we did this bracelet. So hopefully, wish me luck on that one. And then and push comes to shove, we'll just work on this pillow, because I am for sure not going to have that done by then. Before I go, I do want to thank my patrons for making this possible. Honestly, a lot of times I've considered giving up on the whole channel, but the Patreon people, you know, really kind of inspired me to keep with it, because they have faith in me, and I really appreciate that. So everybody, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy next week. I will see you on Saturday, same time, 10 p.m. Singapore time. So, and as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.
Don't forget that homework.
Yeah, amen.